Welcome guys, and in this video I'm building something for my game which I thought I'd bring you along for because I think it might be interesting. So I have a randomly generated map and it spawns a bunch of tiles, spawns items across those tiles and enemies across those tiles, and what I want to create is a save game mechanic so that when you spawn in for the first time it randomly generates everything, but then every time you return to that map the generation is the same, but also the changes that the players made to things like the items and the enemies and that are also saved. So if you defeat an enemy on the map, the next time you revisit that map, I want it to remember that that enemy is being defeated, and when it generates the map, not have that enemy there, not have the items that are being collected, or have new items that might have spawned on when the player left, and things like if the player's been building structures and things like that, I want to just be able to save anything that I want. So that's the goal today, or not even today, but just for the next hour or however long this takes. But I just thought it'd be worth mentioning as well. This is broken into two parts. So the first part is world generation using a seed, so I can get consistent world generation each time I return to the level. There's no use trying to save a randomly generated world onto your hard drive when you can just regenerate the same world using a seed. So that's the first part, which I've already done and I'm not going to cover in this video. But the second part, which is when you leave the world, saving the transforms and the states of all of the actors that you want to save to your hard drive, so that when you revisit the world, you can get that information back and spawn all the enemies and things like that. So let's just fucking start. It's not really going to be much of a tutorial as much as it's just going to be me building it and sort of narrating as I go, but we'll just see. How do I want to start this? So I'm going to start with probably a new save game. I'll start with a new save game where I'm going to save all the world information. So type save game, and this will just be called, I'm going to call it ERI because that's just my game. ERI world state save game, and I might put that into a separate folder or something, maybe. Oh, level gen, that could be a good folder for it. Let's put it in there. Oops. Level gen. Okay, and the things that I want to save actor classes, so that'll be of type actor class reference array. It's going to be a list of actors, and actor transforms. Okay, so that's all the information that I think will save per level. Now I just might create some functions to load and save this data. So I might, I've got a function library. If you've got your own function library in your game, just crack that open and you can put that stuff in here. And I'm just going to make this first function, which is going to be called, save, what did I call it? World state or something. World state, yeah. Okay, so save world state, and I might just put my little ERI at the start just so I know which game this is associated with. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is does save game exist? Now the slot name is going to be quite important, and I might just put this function into a separate category as well. ERI world states. Okay, I'm just going to turn my heater up. Hold on. Oh, it's already on the max. Fuck. My fucking toes are freezing. It's the middle of winter here. It's 5 degrees, which isn't even that cold, I suppose, but I'm basically living outside, so it is sort of cold. I need to create a new local variable, and I'll just call this slot name of type string. Oh, you know what? I don't even think I need that. I don't even need that. I'm going to delete that, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug slot name into there and compile that, and then I should be able to just get my slot name like this. Yeah. Anyway, let's get busy. So I'm not going to narrate everything that I'll do, just follow along and just watch. If the save game exists, load game from slot. If it doesn't exist, create save game object of type save state. Yeah. Now get slot name, put that in there, cast to world state, and then world state save game is what I'm going to call the save game reference down there, just so we can modify this easier. Okay, reroute node, and now this is where we could do all our saving here. Or actually, you know what we might do is we might just have a return node, and I might plug this into here, and I'll call this world state save game ref. And can you pass these by reference? I don't know if you can pass things by reference. Because I'm just curious if I could use this to just load it and then save it manually. You can pass the references to the input. Oh well, let's just test it out and we'll just see if we can get it to work, shall we? So this really isn't saving, it's just loading at the moment, so I'm just going to call it load world state. And if we go into our save game, our world state save game that we created, I'm just going to add some defaults in, and this will just be, I'm just going to add an enemy AI in, and the transform can just be 0, 0, blah 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 blah. Now I'm going to crack open a testing map. And let me just make sure there's no bullshit going on that's going to interrupt me. So in my game mode, begin play. Let's do this on begin play for now, and then later on I'll do it after the level generation with the seed. We're going to load world state, load the world state. Now I think the slot name should be composed of the level name and maybe like an integer in case, yeah, I don't need to explain this, I'll just do it. So what I might do is I'll call this level name, and then I might have another parameter which will be another string, which will just be called appendage. I don't even know if that's the correct use of that word. Appendage makes me think of like fingers and shit. I think, no, it's a different word though. What's that? I don't know. Anyway. So I'm going to append the level name. Actually, you know what? I'm going to call this ERI underscore world state underscore level name underscore whatever that is, and then that's going to be promoted to a local variable, which will be the slot name, just so that I can have multiple save games for the same map, because I'm going to have different levels of the same map. So I'm going to call this slot name down here, and this is going to be a string. Yeah, that's fine. And then we can promote that up there and put that in there. And I might set some defaults. ERI testing grounds for the default thing, and then 0 can just be the appendage. Okay, and then I just need to go and plug all my slot names into the rest of these things. Yep, so this is just loading it. It hasn't actually saved it, so what I might do is save game to slot here, and the save game object is going to be U. Okay, that looks like it should be working. So if I go into here and I load the world state for ERI testing grounds appendage 0, I can get actor classes, and I can also get the actor transforms. Okay, and I can do a for each loop, and for each of these I can spawn an actor from class at the saved transform, because I'll get a copy of the same index, just like that. And now if this succeeds, I should get an enemy spawning at 0, 0, 0. Yeah, there you go, that one just there. So that works, but now the next thing that I want to do is I want to be able to save, I want to be able to update this. So I'll need to create a new function. Let me go into my player controller. Yeah, let me go into my player controller for now. It's a lot of stuff, and when I input, I don't know, what's a key that I haven't been using? M, maybe. Input M. If you know a faster way to search for keys, that'd be much appreciated. Let me just check that I don't have any other input M's. Oh, good grief. Doesn't even include the actual M key there. Anyway, if I input M, let's load the ERI world data. Oops, that's the wrong one. Load ERI world state. And now this is an object reference, so what if I were to get actor classes, get actor transforms, and let's try this out by actually, instead of manually adding stuff, let's see if we can actually automatically add a bunch of classes. So what I might do is create, back in my folder, in level gen, world state save game, let's create a new blueprint interface, which I'll call ERI world, oh god, world state saved actor, which doesn't actually need to have a function. Actually, it could just be, this could just be a tag that I could add to things, but I might do it with an interface just in case I want to pass information to them later. So what I'll do whenever I press M is I'll load this save game, or actually before I load the save game, let's get all actors with interface, which will be our world state saved actor. And then what I might do, I'm just thinking it might be better to do this in a function library rather than here in the player controller, and then I'll call it in the player controller when I'm ready to save it. So, in the function library, if I go to my world states and hit add function, it adds it in the wrong spot, but that's fine. ERI world state save actors. Let's roll with that. And I'm just gonna try. I gotta organize this, man. Holy, where did I just put that? Oh, good God. I gotta organize these functions. There's so many fucking functions. And I might just rename that so that it's consistent. Save world state. Okay, and when we save the world state, we're gonna be getting all the actors with the interface. The target there can go. Let's get the length of this, or the last index of this, and what I want to do, I'll resize these. This gets the last valid index, but what about the length? Is that size? Is size the length or the last index? I'm not even sure. God damn. Let's keep both of them there for now, and we'll see in a second. This music's getting a bit hectic for me. Hopefully that's not too loud on the stream. We want to resize them before we add stuff to them, just because that's better for performance. Because if you're adding stuff to them and it has to resize them every time you add something to them, if you've got a lot of information that you're adding to an array, it can take forever. So let's resize actor classes and resize actor, resize actor transforms. And I've got a feeling I want to use length. Let's just roll with length. And I'll see if that's right in just a second. So we're going to get all the actors with the interface and then resize these arrays to that specific length. And then I'm going to print a string. Or rather print for me, which is just an extended string function that I've made so that it lasts for longer. And I'm going to print that length just to make sure that it's getting the right amount. So back in my player controller, when I press M, I'm going to save world state. Now, that'll need a slot name and things in just a second, but for now we're not doing anything saving, we're just checking how many actors we've got. So let me chuck in, I've got an item blueprint which I do want to save. And in the implemented interfaces, I'm just going to type in world state save actor as an interface so that these will be saved. And now if I chuck in a couple of these, right, and then hit play, error is irrelevant, but anyway, so actually I'm going to need to jump into the game, hold up. So it spawned our thing before because she's the default saved thing, and she's going around and collecting the items because that's what her code does. But now there's an item on the ground, and if I hit M, apparently there's two actors with the interface. Oh yeah, because that's an item over there as well. Okay. That's just a child of that one. Okay, so that should have... No, it didn't save them, but it's told me that it's working correctly. Yeah, okay. So, when I hit this save thing, save world state is going to need a level name and an appendage, just like before. Maybe I can pass these by reference. No, let's not do that, because then I'll lose the default. God, it takes forever to compile. Now in save world state, let's chuck in that as the default and then the appendage. What's that funny word for your fingers that sounds like appendage? Phalanges? Maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. These are important questions to be thinking about while I'm trying to make a world state save game function. Anyway, I think this is working. It's resizing them, and it's resized them to the correct size, but nothing's in them. So now what we need to do is let's save a reference to the actors with the interface, which I wish I could just fucking promote it to a local variable. Actually, you know what? I got a better idea. So I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna build it in the player controller. I'm gonna build it in the player controller inside of a function, because then I can use the hotkey to promote to local variable, and then I'll copy it to the other function because I'm just that fucking lazy. Save world state. Well, it doesn't actually need a name because I'm gonna delete it in just a second, but I'm going to do it all in here because now I can go promote to local variable, boom, ERI world state save game ref. No, that is the wrong name. ERI actors to be saved. So now we've got that length thing working, it's resizing those. Now what we need to do is for each of these, for each loop, let's I'm just going to drag this shit across because I can't be bothered promoting everything to a local variable, but we're going to be inserting an element at this array index of the actor class, so get class. Okay, plug in, and then exact same deal with the transforms. We're just going to say insert, oops, plug that there, get actor transform, plug in, insert at the same index, and now we just need to save the game to the slot. So if I go save game to slot, I wonder if this will work. I really hope so. This is where we need a slot name, so let's promote that to a local variable and just call this slot name, slot names. And is that everything? I think that might be everything. So now I can just cut all of that and then go back into our MWA function library right after I compile this, I think. I get nervous leaving things uncompiled. And then save world state, I'm just going to paste all this in. And it looks a bit scary right now because everything's broken, but that's fine. So create local variable, break that, create local variable, F7 to save. Okay, so now I just need to do the same thing that I did in load world state with the slot name. So just copy that, put that at the start. My toes are cold, man. Oh. Level name goes in there, appendage goes in there. I'm gonna Google what the fucking appendage is. Define appendage. A thing that is added or attached to something larger or more important. Yeah, sure. And then what about phalanges? What are phalanges? Digital bones in the hands. Yeah, nice. And feet of most vertebrates. Ugh. So I guess like your phalanges are like appendages to your hands. What the fuck am I talking about? Jesus Christ. Yeah, these are my digital appendages attached to my larger and more important arm appendage. Oh, good God. Anyway, now this here, level name and appendage needs to be passed straight through there when we load the level state. Yep. And so now, fingers crossed, this should actually save everything that's in the world and reload it. But whenever we save the world state, let's also have a print for me, which will be game saved. Game saved. Oh, compile quicker, please. Right, so when I press M on my keyboard, and I can delete that old save world state function in my player controller because I don't need that anymore. When I press M, we're going to be saving the world state for ERI testing grounds, and the appendage for the phalanges, the digital appendage, is going to be 0. And when we begin play in the game mode, it's going to load the last save state. Okay, so what I might do is let's keep the items in there for now. We should only get that Lucy block spawning. Yeah, so we get her. Now if we defeat her, and now there's more items spawning, right? Those two things there are items, and there's an item over there. So if I press M, game saved. Now if I close and then click play, holy shit, it actually worked. The items are still there. Wow, and she spawned in again because she's the default in the thing. So what if I were to delete her from the default? If I delete her from the default, do you reckon she'll still spawn in? Yeah, she will, because I need to delete my save game. So, let me just show you. Don't crash my computer, please. Content folder, saved, save games, ERI world state, that there, delete that. And now you can close that. If I spawn in now, she doesn't spawn because I've refreshed the default. And now it's only these 3 items. Press M, game saved. Now if I delete these, right, and there's that one over there, which I will also delete actually. If I spawn in, they'll still be there. See? So that's how that works. And if I spawn in again, are they still there? It didn't double up. No, all good. Cool, man. So that's working. Is that everything that I needed to do? Holy shit, let me check my notes, because that might have just been the whole thing. Yeah, pretty much. That's how you save actors for your game. So if I'm going to do a little bit more, because I just want to show you an example of how this might be implemented if you were going to implement this to your game, by implementing it to my own game. But let me go into some of my AI. ERI Lucy, who's that scary chasing face block that we saw earlier. Actually, all I need to do is just go to class setting, give her an interface which is ERI world state saved actor interface. That's literally all I've got to do. And now if I were to chuck a few of these in the world, and you know what I might do before that is I might go into my player controller, and if I input the letter N for new, input N key. Yeah, here we go. Oh Good God. Input N key. Let's erase game, delete game in slot. How am I going to do that? No, you know what? I can't be fucked. Oh, actually, you know what I could do? Save world state. Let's have a boolean here and just call this delete question mark, and that's going to be a boolean. And if left click with holding B to do a branch, if delete is true, that doesn't need to be saved by reference. If that's false, then go ahead and save like normal. If it's true, actually, you know what? This needs to go first. So level name and appendage. Okay. If it's false, go ahead and save like normal. If it's true, then delete game in slot. And the slot is just going to be slot name. Okay. And the default should obviously be false because we don't want to just delete every time. Predominantly when we're going to be using this is we're going to be saving, not deleting. So in my player controller, whenever I press M, I can just copy this and put that there. But actually, a better way to do this would be to get current level name, right? And then plug that into there. And then the appendage can just be the index if you want to have separate save files for the same level. So if you've got like a hard level or an easy level, or you could have multiple save files and you could do different things on the level. But yeah, so that's how this is going to work. And then same thing if I press N, we're just going to delete the save file. And so now I don't have to go back and forward into my content folder to find the save game and to delete it there. We can actually delete it in the game. So if I jump in and press N, that would have deleted the game, even though I didn't give me a print string. And now if I respawn, those items on the ground are gone because I deleted the save file. If you paid attention, you would have seen them there before. And now if I defeat one of these and we drop some items, now we have 3 face blocks and some items on the ground, press M to save. Now we have a heap more AI because the ones on the map are still there. So if I were to delete these, now we'd have 3 AI and some items on the ground. There we go, and they're all in the same spot. Beauty. And you're still working? You're still working, excellent. Oh, and she just shot her friend, so now they're going to fight each other, watch. Oh, it looks like they're kissing. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, they're dancing, look, they're doing circles. Oh, 3-way? A 3-way! Yo! It's like a love triangle. Oh, good God. So, that's pretty much everything. That only took half an hour. That's really good. That's all we need to do. Now, I just want to show you how I'm going to set this up into my own game. So if you've got the gist, you can stop watching, but I'm going to show you how to set this up in my own game. And I might just leave myself a note right now that this is at 34 minutes in the stream, just for when I upload to YouTube. Okay. So I don't want to save the actors on my MWA game mode, or spawn the actors rather. But I will keep this. Because I'm going to put that into my function library, and I'm going to duplicate ERI load world state, and actually, you know what, I'm going to call it spawn world state actors. Actually, I'm not sure that you can spawn actors from a function library. Yeah, you can't. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, well, I guess there goes that idea. If you know how to spawn actors from a function library, let me know, because that'd be very helpful. So I have a separate game mode for a randomly generated map. And it is called random gen game mode, I believe. Okay. Let me go to my event graph. And so what I want to do is when a player logs in, it spawns the map. Okay, so that's spawning the map. But then, what are we doing? When this map spawned, then this thing fires. We're setting up a bunch of shit which is done using the seed, but then spawn items, spawn enemies, and spawn random class selectors. These are all stuff that I want to save. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect that. Okay, because I don't want to be doing that every time the level loads in. I'm going to have a branch here. Now this will be important because what I'm going to need to do here is check that does a save game already exist for this floor, and if it does, then load the save game. If it doesn't, then we're going to generate it for the first time and then create the save game. So how am I going to do this? Does save game exist? Yeah, actually I guess it's just that simple. Does save game exist? That's what we'll use for the branch. Does save game exist? But we're going to get current level name. And we're going to do our good old appendage trick. Our phalanges trick. But you know what? I might... Oh no, fuck it, let's just do it manually. I was going to make it a function, but... Actually, you know what? I think I will make it a function because I can't even remember what the first phalanges was called. MWA function library. Okay. So... I might... Well, it's literally just this, isn't it? But nonetheless, generate world data slot name is what I'm going to call it, and it's literally just going to be that return node, boom, and that's going to be slot name level name, or you know what could even be better? I was going to say, should I get current level name here? I could just do that, couldn't I? Am I ever going to be saving for a separate level? Probably not. Yeah, no, fuck it, let's just do it like this. And that means I can delete that, and then this can be phalanges appendage. That can be appendage, and default value can just be 0. And it can be a pure function. And I can put that all the way up here with the rest of my functions. ERI world states. Alright. So now, generate world data slot name, appendage can just be 0 for now. I'll deal with that in just a second, and I'll show you how you can use that. Does the save game exist? If it does exist, then, or if it doesn't exist rather, let's generate the world using our normal system. If it does exist, then this is where we're going to need that code that we had before, which I have probably lost. Yeah, I have. Bummer. Lost it from my clipboard. Which means I'm going to load world... Oh, good God. Load world state. Here we go. God, and you know what? I could even just feed the slot name into there like that. Look, anyway, let's just get current level name. I can't be bothered optimizing everything right now, which is weird because if I can't be bothered, then maybe I'm not really optimizing. Maybe I'm wasting time. Does save game exist? Generate slot name. If it does, then get the world save state, get actor classes, and for each loop we will spawn actor from class, and the spawn transform will be get actor transforms. Get copy. Okay, and I might just collapse that to a function and just call that spawn saved actors. Right. So it's really that easy. It's really that easy. And so if I were to test this out, I'm going to have a message all clients. This is something that I've created, so don't worry about what this node looks like, but it's just effectively a print string that I've just fancied up. Now the message that I'm going to say is generated new floor for first time. Okay, so that's what will happen if we don't have a save game, and if we did have a save game, loaded last state of world. Okay, and I think it should still be saving when I press M. So if I go into my MWA player controller, which is just my player controller, nothing fancy about the MWA, if I press M, we're still saving the world state. So if I jump in, it'll generate the world for the first time. Generated new floor for first time. Okay, and this is the floor. So we have some items on the ground. Okay. Normal shit. And now if I press M, game saved, and now we jump in. Loaded last state of world. Okay. And I spawned in a different spot just because my spawning system's fucked up. But there's an item on the roof there, right? So if I get that and then press M, it might be doing some saving business. Or maybe I've just fucked up and my whole game's gonna die. It's still there! You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Game saved. Okay. I got the item and the game saved. Let me save it again just to be sure. Now, if I play again... Okay, it's gone. So I don't know what happened, but... Sometimes when I'm using Dropbox, it takes a while to sync the save file to my Dropbox, and it can cause problems. But anyway, there's another item over here, so let's grab that. Or maybe I pressed save too early last time. M, game saved, right? Jump back in. Item on top's gone. And this is still here though. What if I restart again? That's gone. You're still there. You're still there. Okay, so save once. Save twice. I saved twice last time and it seemed to work, so I wonder why. Now it's gone. I wonder why I have to save twice. That's really odd. Anyway, there's another one over here, so let me get that. And you know what? I might... Oh, it hasn't saved my inventory, but that's fine. That's a separate issue. I might drop it over here instead, and now save once. Now what happens? Okay, it's over here. But the other one's still over here. Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? okay, you're still there. You're still there. The money's different every time because that's just something that I've fucked up. But okay, here. I'm pressing M to save. Right. Frames are terrible, but that's alright. It could be because maybe it's still... Oh my god, look at how many enemies are up there. I think something's definitely broken. Maybe it's trying to save too much and it hasn't had time to save everything because I might have fucked something up. But yeah, well, the item's there, so it's at least kind of working. Maybe the problems with my code are not necessarily with the system that I've built, but that's how I'm going to apply that to my own game. And the appendage is just going to be for a level. So like this infinite test map, in my game I play through this same map infinitely, but each time you play through there's an integer that increments each time, and that integer it scales the difficulty of the game every time you play. So what I want to do is I want to have that integer just be tacked onto the end on the phalanges and it'll save the game for every different floor in a separate slot. So yeah, that's it guys. So I'm going to leave this tutorial there, but I hope that was helpful. And if you want to learn how to do random generation stuff like this shit that you just saw, I have got some tutorials for that as well. The rest of this video is just going to be me promoting my own shit, by the way. But yeah, I've got some good random generation tutorials on my channel if you want to have a look at those. I've got the finite ones like this. These are all built out of handcrafted tiles, and I've got some tutorials about infinite world generation like in Minecraft, and infinite worlds using handcrafted tiles as well. I think that one might be a product, not a tutorial on YouTube. But if you're interested in that or the other products, there's Gumroad as well. I've got a lot of stuff on Gumroad. So it'd be awesome if you check that out and support me. But you don't have to, obviously, but it'd be helpful if you did. God, it feels weird asking people to support me. What the fuck? I felt wrong. But yeah, just letting you know that that's there. I have a store and I have more shit on my YouTube channel. So that's it. I'm going to leave that there, guys. I will see you again soon.